What is 10 o'clock in the morning? This is 6th Street and Euclid Avenue. This is a group stalker molesting me with direct light while I'm on the bus, 90908T1. The entity is keeping the fake sun over me while I'm on Route 83 going southbound, leaving Upland, California. Whereas, remember, while I'm at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, and at this time, where I'm not even in front, it's not nowhere near the property of the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. It's also not over, and remember, it's in between the Senior Center and the Ovid Family Community Library. It's right there over my head. I am on a bus passing 5th Street on Euclid Avenue going southbound, which the entity is keeping a light source over my head where I'm at the Ovid Family Community Library as though that's the sun. It is not the sun. This is nowhere near that property yet. I'm still headed toward that location where, even so, I'm on Euclid Avenue. The entity would have to move its fake sun eastward to be at that same location over my head where I'm standing near the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. But you're also going to pay attention to, this is not over the roof of the Upland Public Library. It's not occurring at the same time. But it's also clearly not over the 7th Street Theater on 7th Street in Chino, California at 9:59 a.m. Nor is the sun maintaining a central presence in its zenith over my head at any of those locations at the same time. In addition to what is the Fontana Lewis Library, where I'm at that venue, you have this same maintenance of a light source which is remaining directly over my head. What I'm showing you is how the light source is remaining specifically over me as I am traveling to wherever it is that I go. And this is the ongoing occurrence for the duration of the day. It's not just during the morning time. It's not just during the afternoon hours. This is from the morning of getting up at the museum right now, where I was remaining in economy in. That's where the entity was rising a fake sun and kept it over that parking lot, over my hotel room all day long. Now where I am outside, sleeping at a museum, the entity is keeping a fake sun in the morning, and at that intersection, where I am still not at that intersection yet. We are at currently Euclid Avenue and Granada, okay? This is the Iron Skillet. This is American Inn. This is the Bank of America. We're approaching what is G Street right down here, okay? Still not at the Ovid Family Community Library. And like I said, common sense dictates this is not over me at this location, and also at the Ovid Family Community Library in its zenith directly over at that property. It's right here, all right? And there's no misperception with that. And it's the same thing with being in Fontana, being at Pomona at the courthouse at 10 o'clock. It's right here over me on this street while I'm sitting on this bus, where the entity is aiming impossible light. That's speaking to where the light source is. It's not remaining central presence over everybody in Pomona, California, as I've documented at 10 o'clock, and the entity kept a fake sun over me at that location, which is not at the same time nor possibly occurring while the entity is keeping the fake sun at 10 o'clock in the morning over the Ovid Family Community Library, which, as you see, while I'm not at that venue, the light source is nowhere near that location, nowhere near that venue. But not only that, this is the same street where I'm traveling down in the evening, and the fake sun is just on this side of the street, all right, and keeping in alignment with me as I go down the same path on the same bus route, all right? This is the pattern of conduct. This is nowhere near Chino, California. This is nowhere near what is Fontana, California. It's right here over me at G Street and Euclid Avenue. That's the El Pescador, all right? That's where we're at. This is where the entity is keeping a fake sun. And this is speaking to, again, fake sun is a reference to what is the unnatural environment, and this is not the natural environment with regard to how the sun actually moves and operates, and what would actually be the case with regard to the conduct of keeping it in its zenith over me, and that's for the duration of the day, and doing it from the beginning of the day till the end of the day, where by documentation, as I go from Ontario to Upland, it keeps it on this very same street, Euclid Avenue. All right, and this is the pattern of conduct. This is the entity keeping directed light all around me. All right, keeping it all over the venue of the bus. The entity is engaging in flashing of direct light, which I've documented already on this bus. This is what the people of the state are doing, and that's what they were doing while I was standing outside documenting their license plates. What I want you to see is how we're approaching the property, and the sun is not over the Ovid Family Community Library. There's no question about that. That's the parking garage. The parking garage is beside the Ovid Family Community Library. There is no maintenance of the sun being some central star that is maintaining a central presence universally over everyone all day. That's not what the sun is. That is the unnatural environment. That's what I'm referring to as the fake sun, because this is what the entity is doing while it keeps a light source over me. And this is while the entity is doing so in a manner that is entirely unrealistic and in conflict with what is science. Science supports what I'm documenting with regard to what is not possibly the sun. And you also see what is not present already over the Ovid Family Community Library. If it was, then the bus would be driving toward the relative location of that, but it's not. It's maintaining perfect alignment with me while I'm en route approaching that location. This is the parking garage that's adjacent to that Ovid Family Community Library. Okay, that's the 280 North Lemon apartment building. You see it hovering up above in the sky space. That's the Wells Fargo, and I am at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm already at that property. I'm standing there, and the light source, as you see it, remaining over me, coming from Upland on Route 83 on this street. The light source is not over the street. It's over me while I'm at that property over there, standing beside the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. All right, where, by the way, it's not moving. It remains over that venue, because that's why you had directed light over the elevator, as though the sun is stationary over that venue. It is not while it's over me in Upland, California, and moving, exceeding beyond that property. It's not over the building of the Upland Public Library. This is not over the roof over that window, above the elevator, above the staircase. The entity is keeping a fake sun over me. It's 10:06 a.m. All right, and this is called stalking with light. This is demonic, in that the entity that is documented engaging in what is molestation with directed light, they're stalking with light as well. That's the conduct of the demon possessed who are engaged in criminal surveillance. That is where I stood. All right, that is the light source is over me on the street. The light source is moving away from that property. While it is moving away from the property, remaining over me, it is not at the same time remaining over that property, over the building, and remaining stationary over the staircase, which is the form for what is that directed light covering that elevator and that staircase. All right, well into the afternoon, by the way. This is P.O.C. It is currently 10:07 a.m. That's the same bus stop that I got on this morning. Okay, the fake sun remaining over me. This is the same intersection where I was present in the morning, as I'm documenting the fake sun at 1:45 in the afternoon at that Ontario Museum of History and Arts. All right, the entity is engaging in conduct as though the sun is maintaining perpetual presence over everyone all day long, and while I'm in California. Okay, it's also relative to my actual location, the state I'm in. This is under no circumstances the sun, the conduct of the sun, the possible, again, the sun that is supposedly an ongoing constant movement is not going to be setting at the same intersection at 7 p.m. because that's exactly what I documented. While the fake sun is over the United States Postal Service, which is right on the opposite side of this building, where the entity was aiming the same exact light source, deep orange color, on the opposite side of the same exact building at this intersection. This is P.O.C. It's currently 10:08 a.m. That's 150 East Holt. That's the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. It is 10:08 a.m. where the entity is rising a fake sun as early as 7:50 in the morning, as I've documented, and it's still remaining over me, passing over this property at what is 10:08, and that's as I get on the bus and travel on the same street. That's keeping a fake sun over you. This is an unnatural environment. All right, and the demon possessed are in that environment, and they're engaged in criminal conduct. This is P.O.C.